User experience or UX is one of the most important things for a website. If a user likes your website and experiencing it very well, they will stay on the website. Otherwise, they will click away. In this video, we'll talk about how you can design the user experience of a website end to end and what you can do to improve the user experience of a website. So let's get started. What is customer journey? Simply put, the customer journey is what a customer experiences throughout your website, right from landing on your website to completing the purchase and everything in between. So, how to map the customer journey on the website? Let's take an example of an online store and let's try to do it step by step. To understand the journey, let's write down all the steps a user will go through while making a purchase. He or she will search for a product, evaluate, add to the cart, sign up, confirm his email ID, enter OTP, add shipping details, click on pay, goes to payment gateway, fill a form, pays and confirm. Once we have a list, let's evaluate every step and remove the ones that are not vital. So for example, do we really need a user to sign up before the purchase? Maybe not. Sign up can create a lot of friction for the user, especially for a small online store who does not have brands like Flipkart and Amazon. Many sites have a process to confirm the email ID of a user, which is also very complicated and it requires tremendous effort from the user. My point is, do we need our users to complete all this process before she becomes our customer? If not, let's remove them from the flow. Now let's look at step number 8. The user clicks on pay now and she is now redirected to a third-party payment gateway to make a payment. If we didn't pass all the mandatory data such as billing and shipping details, etc., automatically she will need to refill it again on the payment gateway side. And after that, she makes a payment. Can't we simply integrate the payment processing right into our website so that she doesn't need to switch windows and sites? After all these changes, let's look at our list. Much better from where we started. We managed to reduce the number of steps from 12 to. So how to make a visual customer journey map? Once we have our final list, use the diagramming tool of your choice to convert it into a sort of a flow chart. A visual map will help you understand cross linkages, failure points, and user paths on a single screen. It will come handy when we hand over the project to the developers for coding. You can use PowerPoint or any other software you are comfortable with. As we are finished with the user journey map, it's time to move to wireframing. While doing wireframing, it is important to put as much detail as possible. Let's look at the example. Making your wireframe as detailed as possible always helps. Always write what text will appear on the actual site, what will be the CTA, what will be written on those CTAs, and what other visual assets such as picture, visuals, or illustration you will be using on the page. This will help you visualize how the user will think through the lands on the page. Once you have a wireframes in place, you need to evaluate and think through them for 5 essential elements. The user's emotional state, actions you want a user to complete on a particular screen, the data you want to collect, and the goal you want a user to achieve, as well as problem or hurdles a user may face. All the elements need to be detailed for every page on your site. User's emotional state. What will the user think when she lands on our page? Did she saw our ad somewhere and clicked on it? Will she be excited, doubtful, or looking for something? What emotions she will be experiencing? The action you want the user to complete. Think about what actions you want the user to complete on the page. For example, click a button, type something, or click a link. Third, data you want to capture. Data capture can happen explicitly by asking the user for some input such as name, email, password, or can be done implicitly by recording users' behavior by analytics software such as Google Analytics, Crazy Eight, Hotjar, etc. A goal you want the user to achieve. Think about what success will look like for the user. Sign up completion, registration, move to another page in the journey, etc. Fifth, problem or hurdles the user may face. Think about problems, problem solutions, scenario limitations a user may face while completing the action you want them to achieve. For example, if you ask for a minimum 16-character password with a special character in it, how easy or difficult it is for the user to provide that. Can the user fail here? Thinking through this, you will have a complete customer journey map, and that is when we'll say you have completed the UX. Now let's move to best practices in UX design. One of the first best practices, we use one action item per page. More than one action item per page will increase cognitive load of the user and can cause confusion. If your website has different use cases, you may want to achieve this by splitting the user goals into chunks and using different landing pages for different use cases connected by a one. Interactive actions can greatly improve user experience, such as typing, uploading a picture, or downloading something. Let's try and think about how you can use these tricks in your website. Some examples of interactive actions include getting a user to start a post on Facebook and LinkedIn, getting a user to type the name of the business in case of Myra, and getting the user to upload a photo in case of Instagram. So think hard about it and try to figure out what action you can get user to perform on your site as a first action. Making your listing pages similar to sites a user is familiar with always helps. Listing pages are complex. They could be challenging to use. Do not try to reinvent the wheel here. Instead, make your listing page layout closer to the most significant site a user is using. It will help the user save their cognitive bandwidth in order to figure out how to use your design and move to the content. Reinventing the wheel here will always do a harm than good. And last, build your content model before your product page. Your product detail page is vital as the user will make a buy or no buy decision on this page. Thinking about the content model for your product page can significantly improve your conversion rates and SEO. Suppose you are selling leather bags. What information or domain knowledge do you wish to have before you can handle a customer? For example, you must know about the material, the dimensions of the bag, the color of the bag, the use case of the bag, etc. etc. You will possibly also know who built this bag. Suppose you can capture all this domain and expert data points systematically for all your products. Then you will find it easier to put together an effective and highly converting product page. These data points will also enable you to link between the pages correctly and create some SEO juice. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe our channel for more updates every week. Thank you for watching.